Hello. Um, I did this whole reworking of how I was going to film my videos. My cat just jumped down. Uh, I did this whole reworking of how I was going to film my videos. Because I was not doing so well. I wasn't filming enough, and then I didn't film. Just getting my book here. Since the last video, I have finished 3 books. I have read 1, and I have listened to 2 on audiobook. The book that I have read, we can do that one first. This will probably be more of a lengthy video, but we can do that one first. I finished Rare Objects by Kathleen Tesaro. That book, that was a gem of a book. It was fantastic. I bought it while I was going to Germany to see Baby Metal with a couple of friends of mine, and seriously, it's going on my top 10 list this year. I guarantee it. It was so good. It's about this girl, Mae Fanning, or Maeve. She's Irish. During the Depression, and she has come home from. She's come home to Boston, I think. Boston from New York, where she's been working, because she lost her job, and she gets another job at an antique store, and she meets up with this girl that she spent some time with in the mental facility, and it's a Neon Sugar Prose book, and what that means for me, it's originally a word I found in a blurb on the back of a book that I loved when I was a teenager, and it's a feeling more than an actual genre. It's the feeling you get when you read a book that is so good that you're transported from the world, sort of. And those books, for me, are often things that are sort of mystical. You don't always know what's happening. Francesca Lia Block writes Neon Sugar Prose. So she meets this girl, and this girl is just... she's an heiress and not entirely connected to reality. And stuff happens, and I'm terrible at explaining because I don't want to spoil you. Because if you read one book this year, you just read one, you read this one. It's so good. It's ridiculous. So yeah, that one gets a top rating from me, bar none. And then last weekend, and this is why I'm behind, because last weekend I took a bus ride, 9 hours each way to go to my sister-in-law's bachelorette party, which was really fun, by the way. But I rode the bus there, so I took 9 hours there and then 9 hours back, and the bus was heinous. It was smelly, and the air was stale, and the bus went like... It was all lurchy, so it felt like we were going like this most of the way for 9 hours over a mountain. It was horrible. So I listened to audiobooks. I had brought with me some books on paper, and I had brought with me my crochet project, which I didn't finish. And the first book I finished listening to was First Truth by Dawn Cook. And it was read by Marguerite Gavin, I believe. And the book in and of itself wasn't all that bad. Dawn Cook is the actual name of Kim Harrison, who wrote the Hollow series under the pen name Kim Harrison, which has for years now been one of my favorite series, and it finished last year, and I was so sad, and I found this book on Audible, and I bought it because I figured she's an amazing author, this has to be good, and it wasn't. It was a romance. It was, I don't know, it's hard to explain, because the thing is, I think I would have liked it had it been read by somebody else. Like, for instance, me on paper. A bad reader can ruin an audiobook. A good reader can save a mediocre audiobook, but a bad reader can ruin the best book you ever read. A bad reader could ruin Harry Potter. A bad reader could ruin Rare Objects. And Marguerite Gaven bothered me. She did this affected accent for most of the book, and it was so annoying. And I'm like, I very, very, very rarely do not finish books. It can take me years. I remember, I think I spent, I think it was somewhere around 6 years from the first time I started reading Lord of the Rings until I actually finished it. I had to have 5 goes at it, and I didn't finish it until I found an edition in New Norwegian, which, if you do not know what that is, there's videos on and Wikipedia articles, and we have 2 languages here, basically. Anyway, so I figured I would slug through it. And I did, and it was, I don't know, I ended up finding all of the plot holes and all of the faults with the book. Like, yeah, no. I think it would have been okay, I think, if I had read it myself, or there had been a better reader. But, and then the second book I read was Blood Cross by Faith Hunter, read by Catherine Vam. I think it's Catherine. Might be Kristen. Might be Christine. Christine Vam? Either way, also an Audible book. And if you find it, she's the only one who has read it on Audible. And that series is really good. So it's the second book in the series. And I heard it all from beginning to end during those 18 hours that I ended up on the bus. Total. And it's so good. The premise is so interesting with she's not aware, the main person is not aware she's a skinwalker, which basically means she can transform into anything that she has the bones of, more or less. During the third book, there's some hinting that she only can transform into things that like predator animals, but I'm not sure yet. But it's so good. So I recommend that. I figure I end up wanting to tell you about the plots, but I'm horrible at explaining plots without being all spoilery, and I think that me sitting here going, oh, this is good, you should read it, it's not enough for you, I think. So I don't think that if I were listening to someone making videos online and just saying, oh, this is so good, you should read it, I don't necessarily think that would spark my interest. So I'm thinking perhaps I should start rethinking how I do the videos, but as of right now, this is fine. I am on track. So at the moment I am 15 books behind. I think I was 15 behind last video also, but that's like a week ago or more. I think it's more. Anyway, I'm 15 books behind right now. I am reading Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson on paper. And yes, I know I keep saying, oh, I'm reading this thing, and then the next video, oh, I finished this other thing. But, you know, in addition to having this compulsion about finishing books I don't really like, I also read like 15 books at once. But that's like, these are the main books that I'm doing right now. So I'm reading Well of Ascension by Brandon Sanderson on paper. I am listening to the third Skinwalker or Jane Yellowrock book, which I don't remember the title of at the moment. And I am still reading Ender in Exile on Kindle, and I think I've been reading Ender in Exile on Kindle for the last couple of months. Ugh. There's a rant coming about the Ender Quintet. I don't know, I've filmed that rant about 4 or 5 or it feels like 20 times, and I'm never happy with it, because the thing is, I come off as annoying, and I don't know, it's... If you really want to read Orson Scott Card, the thing is, so many people like those books. It's like, I don't know, I feel like for a lot of people, the Ender Quintet is what Harry Potter is for me. I think it's about the age where you start reading them somewhat, and also about your tolerance for preachiness, because they're really preachy, and they're really... He wants to be a philosopher and he fails so bad. I don't know. If I ever get my head screwed on straight enough, I will make a rant video about that. But at the moment, just know I am forcing myself through this. These books are so dumb. They're stupid. I think that's some of my problem. They're stupid. The things that people do and say doesn't make sense to me at all. I've been accused of not being able to put myself in the character's place, like not seeing things from the perspective of the characters before, and I think that might be a bit of my problem, because the way I see it, these stupid characters are doing the stupidest shit, and then they spend like 4 pages lecturing each other about why we should do this. There's a scene, if you've read them, there's a scene with Quora in the 4th book or 5th, the last book, because this is the thing, the book that I'm reading right now is supposed to come between book 1 and book 2. Yeah, but there's a scene with Quora in the last book, and it's so cringy, because I think she's supposed to be like 30 in the scene, and she's being so 14, and everyone is making "I'm 14 and this is deep" speeches, and there's like this Maowan character, and he's like, "I'm 15 and I'm deeper than you." It's so cringy. Yeah. I hopefully I can get my reasoning for hating these books in enough of a straight line to make an entire video about it, because they're so bad. And all the characters are so dumb, and the first book is a serviceable young adult book, and the rest of the series is absolute trash. And it's like, I don't know, I'm the kind of person, I didn't like Lord of the Rings, I didn't like Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, I did not like Star Wars, I do not like the Ender Quintet, I love the Harry Potter books, but I hate the movies, except from perhaps the first one. I've been told many times that my nerd badge should be revoked, and I'm sure it should, but it's like, why do I have to like these stupid books? Like Lord of the Rings, it took me forever to read it, because it's immensely long. I don't like Game of Thrones books, the Game of Thrones books either. He's immensely wordy, and he takes so much time on the dumbest shit. And that's the thing about Tolkien too, is it the Tom Bombadil scene that so many people love, and I'm like, no, it's boring, it's unnecessary, edit, people, edit. And I think that's part of the problem that I had with the Ender Quintet and with Lord of the Rings and with Game of Thrones. The Game of Thrones books, the series is amazing, and this last season they don't have to take the books into consideration anymore, so they can just go and do their own shit at their own pace. Things are actually happening at the moment, but it's editing. These authors are supposed to have editors telling them that this thing doesn't work, you're spending too much time on this, you should cut down this part, and I don't think they do. Or if they do, I think that they're having the same problem that was with all of the Star Wars movies, except, I don't know, the first trilogy, I think I would have liked it if I hadn't seen it with Peter Jackson's... No, not Peter Jackson. I forget the name of him, but the director, producer dude, if he hadn't... I think I might have liked the original, because I have this thing about 80s aesthetics in movies, and I think I would have liked it if I had gotten it with the puppets, but I got it with the horrible computer graphic. Oh my god, that was so bad. Anyway, I'm 15 books behind. I'm reading Under in Exile, I'm reading the third Jane Yellowrock book, and the second Mistborn book. And I will hopefully see you soon. I'm sorry this video took forever. Subscribe button somewhere. I will have my blog linked and my Instagram account linked in the info bar. I post pictures of my cats on Instagram and of my food, because that's what you're supposed to do, right? So yeah, bye!